Welcome to Inspirational Journeys, everyone. My name is Ann Harrison, and today we're going to talk about step 8 of the Snowflake method. But first, let me remind you to subscribe to the YouTube channel and the podcast, like the YouTube channel videos, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss a new video. Also, whatever podcast platform you're listening to, be sure to rate and review the podcast so others can find the show. And be sure to share the podcast episodes with your friends too, especially if you think that they can help, that these writing tips can help them out as they help you. Okay? So now let's go through very quickly the summary of the Snowflake method. Remember your pre-planning questions that I've mentioned in previous episodes. My story's category or genre is, this is the story I want to write about. And why would the story make my audience happy? Those are the 3 questions you want to answer in a journal. And then you start with step 1, which is your 1-sentence summary. Step 2 is your 1-paragraph summary. Step 3 is your summary sheets for your primary characters, including character name, role, goal, ambition, values, conflict, epiphany, and your 1-sentence summary for each character, because each character has their own story, except for your main character or characters. They're going to be part of your story. So you can just copy the 1-sentence and 1-paragraph summary into their summary sheets for the main ones. But then you have primary characters that have their own stories. So you write your 1-sentence and 1-paragraph summaries for those characters. Then in step 4, you write your 1-page synopsis, which is just an expansion of your 1-paragraph synopsis. Step 5, you write your character synopsis, which is basically writing your character's backstory and how it ties into the role of their main role in the story. Step 7 is your character Bible, which can take some time, but actually turns out to be a lot more fun. Now, step 8. Oh, wait, I missed something. Step 5 is your character synopsis. Step 6 is your 4-page synopsis, which is something I actually missed in the rundown. Sorry about that. I just realized that I forgot something. Yeah, I'm pre-recording these, so I may, get mixed up along the way. But remember, this is unscripted, so you get to see me in my natural element here, trying to do this from memory. I'm not even looking at a document right now. But anyway, I'm doing this all from memory because I've actually worked most of these steps as it is. Okay, after step 6, your 4-page synopsis, then you do your character Bible, which is step 7. Now let's talk about step 8, which is a really interesting step here. It's called your scene list. Now, Randy Ingermanson suggests, and I do too, that you do this in a spreadsheet, or you can make a bullet journal if you want, but I'm going to give you the columns that I put in my spreadsheet, and you don't have to have every single scene mapped out before you get your novel, especially if you're working on a first draft. You can map them out as you go. You can plot like no further than the headlights, like a lot of authors do a rolling outline or a rolling scene list, which that's kind of what works for me. So what I put in my spreadsheet columns, and I put the following things: chapter/scene number, character, POV character, 1-sentence scene summary, timestamp. But you can add more, or you can make it fewer than what that is. So, for example, my chapter/scene number, I'll have C1/S1. And then I will have my POV character as Katrina, my 1-sentence summary, which talks about the accident. I'm not going to go down through the rundown because I don't have my spreadsheet open in front of me. But basically, C1/ and then the timestamp, and then C1/S2 is where Katrina wakes up in the hospital. Katrina is the POV character. Then I did my 1-sentence summary there, and my timestamp, which I'm not going to go into all the details because I don't want to spoil the book for you. But then you go and so on and so forth. Now, if you have a manuscript that you've started but you haven't finished, what I would suggest you do also is go through your manuscript and read through it scene by scene, chapter by chapter, scene by scene, and see where you can make some adjustments as you go. You may have to rewrite quite a few scenes, but I think it would be easier if you do that, because that way you can look at where, what scenes don't work, what scenes do. You can map them out in your spreadsheet. And then if you have some ideas for scenes as you go, like for example, for a romantic suspense, you have ideas to add chapters in your POV character, then you can, or chapters or scenes. I prefer to do chapters, but some people prefer to switch POVs within a chapter. If, however you want to do that, then you can write down, you can add those chapters in and add scenes in as you go to your scene list. It's a rolling outline. So that is step 8. Next week, we'll talk about step 9, which is an expansion of your scene list, which actually I may do steps 9 and 10 in the same, in the same episode, or I may just do a really quick step 10 and tips. I'm not sure yet how I'm going to do that, but I wanted to get through these steps on a week, once a week, to give you time to actually follow them. Be sure to download the PDF that's linked in the description. If you have any questions, or you need a template for, the Character Bible template for step 7, or if you'd like to be a guest on the podcast, please email me. I'd love to hear from my listeners and my viewers. Or you can leave comments or message me on social media. If you're watching, or if you're listening on the podcast, you can also leave me a voice message. So thanks for listening and for watching. Have a blessed day. And remember, when you've touched one life, you've touched thousands. Have a very Merry Christmas and a happy 2021. And I will see you again next week. Bye-bye.